chapter 6, in Shemuel Bet. A couple things happened, just to recap. David HaMelech is transferring the Aron. He wanted to bring it to Yerushalayim, but then on the way, Uzzah dies because he thought he had to catch the Aron. He ends up leaving it in the house of Oved Edom. Oved Edom got blessed with many, many children. But why did this happen with Uzzah? Number one, the sages we learned last time tell us in the Gemara, David made a mistake. He wasn't supposed to carry the Aron on a wagon. It was supposed to be in the Leviim shoulders. Why did he make this mistake? So he forgot a simple halakha, really, because it's mefurash in the pasuk in Sefer Vayikra. So how could he forget this halakha? So David thought that transferring the Aron on the shoulder is only in Midbar, it's only in the desert. But it doesn't apply after we left the desert. But that was a mistake. And how did he forget this halakha? That it applies in all generations. And Chazal say in Gemara Sechet Sotah is because David HaMelech said that Hashem's chukot are songs. He describes Hashem's laws as zmirot. So that's not appropriate. Songs are like something I'm into, something nice to listen to, and it's like you don't have to listen to songs, you know. But the Torah is not like that. The Torah you have to listen to, and the Torah is way more important than whether you like it, you don't like it. You know, usually there's people who like the song, people don't like the song. Torah it's not a good comparison. It's showing as if a little bit of disgracing the Torah when he called it songs. So therefore Hashem rebuked him by making him forget a simple halakha even the children know in Chumash, to show that a person cannot call it that way. Also, Chazal say that Hashem was upset because calling the Torah songs makes it like as if there's no toil involved with Torah, and that's not true. You have to work very hard. Okay, now second mistake was that Uzzah thought that he had to catch the Aron. Now he forgot to remember that Shekhinah is on the Aron, and the Aron carries itself, and he shouldn't have thought that the people are carrying it. So therefore, from the fact he forgot about the Shekhinah, that itself is why he got punished. Uzzah was a tzaddik. Don't think he was a bad person. It's just Hashem is very exacting with the tzaddikim, and his death actually caused a very big kiddush Hashem. Because now when people look at the Aron, they're like, "Oh, you can't mess with the Aron. You gotta respect it. Look what happened to Uzzah. He died when he slighted the honor of the Aron." So therefore, at the end of the day, he was similar to Nadav and Abihu. Nadav and Abihu died. All the Kohanim realized when you go to the temple, you gotta be serious. You can't joke around over there. Look what happened to Nadav and Abihu. Okay, now we're going to see over here they have machlok in the end of the chapter, machlok between David HaMelech and his wife. Okay, so the pasuk says that Hashem blessed Oved Edom, and then Vayilech David Vayaret Aron Elokim Beit Oved Edom Ir David Besimcha. David brought up the Aron of God from the house of Oved Edom to the city of David with joy. And what did he do? David mecharker bechol oz lifnei Adonai David chagur efod bad. David was dancing with all his strength when he was girded with a linen tunic, and they were playing music, and they were all dancing. And what happened? Vayaron Hashem ba'ir David ve'Michal bat Shaul nishkafa ba'ad halon. Michal, daughter of Shaul, wife of David, saw David leaping and dancing. And what did she do? Ve'tivez lo baliba. And she scorned him in her heart. So then the pasuk says, okay, he brought korbanot, everyone went home, and David went home. Michal comes, ותאמר, מה נכבד היום מלך ישראל, שנגלה היום לעיני אמהות עבדיו, כי עגלות נגלות אחר הריקים. The way you behave today, she says, you're acting like a אחד מהריקים, like a boor, like a very nonsensical person. David said to her, לפני השם, אשר בחר בי מאביך וכל ביתו, לצוות אותי נגיד על עם השם, על ישראל, שחקתי לפני השם. What do you mean? I was doing it for the honor of Hashem. He says, I should be humbled in front of Hashem. Who is my kavod? And so therefore that was his claim. And who wins? Who won the argument? David. As the pasuk says, "Michal bat Shaul lo haya la yeled ad yom mota." She did not have any children to the day of her death. Why? Because she was wrong for rebuking David.
Mechakir is actually dancing?
Yeah.
Is that what it means?
He was not just dancing.
Loudly.
Yeah, like it wasn't befitting. You know, some rabbis they dance.
Yeah.
No, he was into it.
Right.
He was spinning and he was making everybody lively, and she thought that was undignified for the king. So why did he do this? It's because earlier when the Aron was being transported, the people were scared of it, right? The Uzzah died. This looks like don't touch it. Something's gonna happen to you. It's gonna zap you. So he wanted to make it that we have to realize that this is a very big simha. It's not a source of destruction. We're not bringing radioactive material over here. We're bringing Aron Hashem. So he decided to take an instrument and jump and dance, and that way people will watch him and learn from this. But Michal, he said, listen, this is beneath the dignity of a king. People are not going to take you serious like this. You can't dance like this. But listen, if you did it in front of maybe your colleagues, okay, you did it in front of all the random people or in front of all the maidservants. David said, listen, when it comes to Hashem, right, we have to put ourselves humbly. It says, for example, halakha, person's wearing clothing that's kalayim, right? So somebody tells him, oh, you bought a suit from the jacket from there. Oh, it's 100% kalayim, wool and linen together. Doraita. Every second you have it on, you get a sin. So what do? The Gemara says, even if you're in the shuk, you got to take it off. What about kavod habriot? What about my personal embarrassment? The Gemara says, en chokhmah ven tvuna ven etzah neged Hashem. There's no plan, there's no thought process, there's no tactic when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's honor. It's a sword, that's it, finished. So you see that there's a concept of my personal dignity, throw it out. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes first. And that's what David was saying to Michal. That was the argument. Now, what does it mean exposed? Over here she says you're like acting like Rakim. What does it mean Rakim? So Michal says to King David, you're a boor. What do you mean boor? A boor is a person who dances in the public and his body becomes exposed through his movements. Michal told David, today the greatness of my father's house has been revealed. Neither a heel or a big toe of a member of Shaul's family was ever exposed, and King David exposed himself in the procession. It means that he picked up his long robe while he was dancing, and usually he always wore a long robe. People saw his legs. And also some say that he wore sandals, and usually his robe covered his feet, and now you're able to see his feet. So she said that was inappropriate. That was never in my house did they ever see our family's feet, and now you're showing it. But in the end she was wrong. Why? Because what happened? It says she never had a kid till she died. So now what's that? What's that about? That shows that she was rebuking him as like a wife should, but she was wrong for doing that. So now the function that she has as a wife got punished. Like she was trying to be a good wife and put him in his place, but she was wrong for doing that. So now she doesn't get the function of a wife of having a kid. Ends up being that she actually has to adopt. She has to adopt, right? So the pasuk with the incident in the Givonim, right? It says over there that the 5 children of Michal were among Shaul's children who were given to the Givonim, but she didn't have kids. The answer is that there were children of Merav. After Merav died, Michal adopted them. She raised them. So she didn't have kids. She didn't have kids until the day of her death. Okay. So now, obviously, we do have tzniut. She was coming from a good place, but that comes with everybody else. When it comes to the kavod of Hashem, then the true kavod of Hashem is the honor of the king. The king is nobody next to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is why Shaul was not chosen. David is saying to Michal, you're Dedamonan. You're like your father. Why? It's because Shaul was always nervous what people are going to say. What are people going to do? What are people going to see? And that's what she was saying. It's not right. How can the king dance like this? David says, you're thinking too complicated. Be simple. When it comes to Hashem, throw all those ideas out and you have to do what's right. Okay, fine. We'll stop over here.